Hi friends. In this video I would like to tap into a subject that has been in the front of my mind for quite some time. That is the subject of recruiters from India, and specifically Indian companies that recruit for American jobs. This is a subject that has, in fact, bothered me for a number of years for different reasons. However, the most common reason is that the typical offering from certain companies seems to give unfair terms to candidates. I have plenty of examples, and perhaps you do as well. However, that may be a story for another time. Recruiter emails from India. Navigating legitimacy and compliance. In today's globalized job market, recruiter emails from India have become a familiar sight in the inboxes of IT professionals, engineers, and contractors across the United States. These messages often promise remote contracts, competitive hourly rates, or specialized technical roles. Some are genuine opportunities, but many are mass-distributed spray and pray messages that fail to meet professional standards, and in Washington state, they frequently violate salary disclosure laws. An example email. The recruiter, based in New Delhi, introduced themselves as part of a global recruitment firm. The message offered a remote contract role with Micro One at $80 to $90 per hour, with responsibilities including reviewing advanced computer science concepts, creating golden responses for AI training, and contributing expertise across algorithms, databases, systems, and security. The application process was straightforward. Upload a resume, complete a short interview, and receive feedback within days. Positive signs. Pay disclosure. The email listed $80 to $90 per hour, which is transparent and aligns with Washington's salary disclosure requirements. Defined responsibilities. The role description was clear and plausible, not vague. Structured process. The application steps were outlined, giving candidates a sense of what to expect. These elements suggest the opportunity itself is real and potentially worthwhile. Red flags. PhD requirement. The role was narrowly scoped, potentially excluding experienced professionals without a doctorate. Recruiter origin. The outreach came from a third-party firm in India, not directly from Micro One, raising questions about the recruiter's authority. Generic personalization. The introduction referenced interest in remote opportunities without specifics, signaling mass distribution. LinkedIn gimmick. Asking candidates to reply hi to avoid spam classification is unprofessional and undermines credibility. These traits point to a spray and pray approach rather than targeted recruiting. Going to the actual website is a way of getting an idea of the validity of the offering. Although the job may not be listed on the site, however, still be a legitimate offering, just not a traditional role. These can be common for contracting roles, since they are often temporary roles and not openly advertised on the company's career webpage. It may be important to note that the offering may be a scam should you not find a position that is considered permanent on the company's website. This would more often indicate that the offering is not legitimate and could be a scam after all. You may want to try to research the company as well on a platform you can trust. Although ratings can be doctored, there may be an insight you can get from the negative reviews you might see on sites like Glassdoor. If you can get an idea of whom you are dealing with, you may have a better time weeding out job offerings that are not worth the time to respond to because they turn out to be resume mills, scams, or not what they seem to be. Often the fact that the third party you are dealing with is not listed in the posting or email may be your first real red flag. You might decide to pass on the posting altogether instead of wasting valuable time trying to respond. Washington State Law, RCW 49.58, 110. For professionals in Washington, the most important lens is compliance with RCW 49.58, 110. This law requires employers and recruiters with 15+ employees to include salary ranges or wage scales, general description of benefits and other compensation, in all postings or recruitment communications for roles that could be performed in Washington. In the Micro One example, the pay disclosure was present, but benefits were missing. That omission means the posting was incomplete under Washington law. Offshore recruiters often don't know or don't adhere to these requirements, leaving candidates to enforce transparency themselves. Penalties for non-compliance. Private right of action. Job applicants and employees can sue if postings fail to include required pay and benefits. Damages. Individuals may recover actual damages, lost wages, etc., or statutory damages. After the 2025 amendments, statutory damages are set at $100 to $5,000 per violation, plus interest, attorney's fees, and costs. Administrative remedies, complaints can be filed with the Washington Department of Labor and Industries L&I. The Director investigates and may resolve violations for conciliation. Cure period 2025-2027, employers have a 5-business-day window to correct a posting after receiving written notice. If corrected promptly, penalties cannot be assessed. This cure period expires July 27, 2027. Why this matters? Recruiters outside Washington, especially offshore firms, often don't know or don't adhere to RCW 49.58/110. That leaves candidates to enforce compliance themselves. For professionals in Washington, this law is a powerful tool. If a recruiter sends a posting without pay and benefits, you can demand disclosure and, if ignored, pursue remedies. How to file a complaint with the Department of Labor. To file a complaint for a violation of RCW 49.58/110, you must submit it to the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries L&I. This process is governed by RCW 49.58/60, which allows job applicants or employees to allege that an employer failed to disclose the required wage scale, salary range, benefits, or other compensation in a job posting. Upon receiving a complaint, the Director of L&I will first attempt to resolve the issue through conference and conciliation. If no agreement is reached, the Director may issue a citation and notice of assessment, ordering the employer to pay damages to the complainant and potentially imposing civil penalties on the employer. Alternatively, you may choose to file a private civil lawsuit against the employer under RCW 49.58/70. In such cases, a prevailing job applicant or employee is entitled to damages or statutory damages of no less than $100 and no more than $5,000 per violation, plus reasonable attorney's fees and costs. Note that civil cases generally require proof of a pattern of violations. This can mean multiple job postings that violate the RCW from the same company. Thank you for joining me on this issue. If you are interested in my journey and would like to see more, or would like to have a topic exposed, please leave a comment. Hit the like button and subscribe for more as time goes. I may include your comment in an upcoming part to my story. Click the notification to be alerted to a new article. To those of you who identify with jobs searching over 50, I feel your pain and wish you the best of luck. Bye for now.